There you see the red Terran is none other than SpeCial. He has a lot to prove in this series. Certainly he is the huge underdog and going up against the top dog in the Starcraft 2 scene. Serral is going to be a very daunting task for SpeCial. Can he actually pull it off? Can he actually defy the odds? On the other hand, we see here the blue corner. It's none other than our Zerg player, the best StarCraft 2 player in this scene. Please welcome Serral. Indeed, we've known Serral a lot as the guy who's known to obliterate the competition. Normally, the Koreans dominate the StarCraft 2 scene until Serral came along and he changed the scope, the history of StarCraft 2. He became the first non-Korean player to actually constantly dominate the scenery. And so far, a lot at stake is going to be on SpeCial. Can he pull something off in this matchup? That's going to be very interesting. And his matchup, Serral, is not going to be an easy threat because one thing's for certain, Serral, you think you got the upper hand over him when you start like out-scouting him, out-maneuvering him, outpacing him with the units you have, or even with your overall economy. But then he always has something up on his sleeve, which is very difficult for the side of SpeCial. So he has to watch out. He can't be very complacent. If he has the lead against Serral, he has to watch out. Now, this is Year 0 LE, the map. And if you're SpeCial, you're playing as Terran, this gives you a lot of room to go for your aerial attacks. Like, it's not like in the other maps where you have to go south, all the way from south to the south to west, or like north to east. This, you can actually go straight west or straight east for you to go for an aerial assault. So if you're SpeCial, you could actually use that or capitalize on that, because we all know the meta now in StarCraft is that when you play Terran and you're going up against Zerg, as much as possible, you can actually go for an all-mech out assault, especially the air-powerful mechs, like the battle cruisers, the BCs, are actually pretty common. So this could be something that SpeCial could use against Serral, but it's not going to be easy, especially knowing I've already discussed or reiterated a lot that Serral is no easy or potent threat. As you can see, the Reaper trying to provide some scouting information, goes for the mine to bomb off that queen. But so far, the early harassment not really paying off for SpeCial. He wasn't able to get any sort of kills in that assault. I mean, he was able to move around the map, but his overall scouting has not really been successful. Like, he's trying to look for an opening just to find out what Serral's next move is going to be, but it's really going to be difficult because so far he's being constantly stalked around here by Serral. Of course, he's got the region. He's really capitalizing on that, and the fact that he's, utilizing on the movement speed of the queen. The queen without the creep certainly is going to be very slow pace, and he's trying to do it again. Harassment, harassment, harassment. Trying to potentially jump in front of the base, but so far he's not really been that successful. It's really a great defensive stance there on the side of Serral. The creep tumor is actually expanding just to make sure that this Reaper will certainly get shut down. So, alright, economy-wise, both teams are actually doing a pretty good job, but you can see Serral going for a very aggressive economy, already has that third expansion. And with that third expansion, that could actually allow him to instantly mass produce units. Remember, his supply is up to 53, but obviously the power of the Zerg normally reaches its peak when it's already at the full 200. So SpeCial, he's really trying to do everything, trying to go for the Cell Naga Tower just for him to get some information about Serral, but it's really been a daunting task for him. Like, how does he find this information when these Zerglings around the map are just constantly harassing through this Reaper? And he's already placed one Zergling near the base of SpeCial, so he's going to have some additional intel, like, is he really going to go for an aggressive economy if you're a SpeCial? So Serral has already, potentially shut down that sort of factor. Like, he already knows if SpeCial is going to build that third base. If he builds that third base, then certainly there's a huge possibility he's going to go for the BCs. And there you go. Speaking of BCs, we're going to see one already unleashed. Now, the fusion core has already been set early on. Like, 4-minute fusion core, that's going to be very big. So we're going to see a very aggressive battle cruiser strategy here on the side of SpeCial. Like, he could use the battle cruisers to move immediately to the western hemisphere of the map and just constantly harass Serral's economy. And this could be potentially big because Zerg players, they're so dependent, they're so reliant on the economy. And if that economy gets shut down, and that could be really good. As you can see, the Reaper, okay, he spots something. Oh, there's really good information there on the side of Serral, but only in the second base. Now, the main base, there's not really a lot of features to be available. So you can see with the special scouting intel that he knows Serral is gonna go for the roaches. He knows that he's gonna go for the banelings. So he's already trying to deploy these countermeasures. You can see the Marines are trying to go 1v1 with these Zerglings, but so far the numbers are not at their favor. But here comes the Hellions with that constant pressure. And so far those Hellions are really going to make sure that those Zerglings are forced to retreat. And, well, so far if you look at Serral, he only has Zerglings and, oh, there's the first battle cruiser already unleashed. Now disrupting the economy here on the side of Serral. And Serral, well, he's forced to use his queens, and okay, he's got two fronts to harass. He's got to deal with his main base here, as this battle cruiser is harassing to one of the queens, and he's got one queen, and now he's going to go for the drones. So things are not really going to look good for him, as the spore crawler is just constantly harassing or bombarding through that BC, as his queens are trying to slow him down furthermore. So far, the BC has done his overall harassment, and this is something that Serral has to watch out. So he's got to watch out for two fronts. He's got to watch out with these Hellions charging further forward. He's also got to watch out for these BCs. These BCs are certainly going to be a constant threat. Remember, the meta has changed. The BC's attack speeds are now much more faster, and the tactical jump is just making things miserable for Zerg players. All right? I mean, it could allow them to potentially escape. So he's got to look for alternative options, and I'm seeing a parasite researched by Serral, and the parasite is going to be so useful. I mean, with that parasite, that would allow him to like manipulate those battle cruisers and then remove that tactical jump ability. He will force the battle cruisers to use those tactical jumps so that they will run out of energy, and that's going to be a very smart plan. And then combine it, if he goes for the Infestor build, which I feel like he's going to do if you're Serral, then that's going to be really good. I mean, with that Infestor build, you can slow down these BCs. As you can see, these BCs are constantly annoying Serral's base. There's the queens trying to defend. Yamato has been popped out, though. Gets one of the queens out. Now another queen is forced to die. Can he actually live through this? The queens are trying their best to get these BCs, but the range is not enough. So far, these Hellions already burning through the creep tumors, removing the map control of Serral in this matchup. So SpeCial, the harassment has been really doing on point so far, just slowing down Serral's overall aggression. You can see a Zergling here on the side of Serral, but so far SpeCial have already read the game plan, and he now has Cyclones being revealed in the battlefield. So now Serral knows he has Cyclones, he already has Hellions, and he has BCs. So one thing's for certain, he's got mobility with the Hellions. Of course, their ground power is not going to be that like overwhelmingly on the top, on the side of Serral. So you could actually counteract it. The speed links will certainly be negated by these Hellions, but he's going to go for these Ravagers, which might potentially slow down these Hellions. Like Infestors and Ravagers, that's going to be a brilliant combo. And there you can see one Infestor going to go out, and Serral with those Zerglings harassing through those Marines into Selnaga Tower with the BCs. Defending that Selnaga Tower. Now here comes the Cyclone and Hellion armies, just constantly moving around the map. See, this is the beauty when you have a Cyclone and you have a Hellion army. Like, you have so much map presence. You have so much map control. You can constantly move around the map. And obviously you got your BCs in the northern flanks. So you got your Hellions and Cyclones in the southern flanks. So you've totally dictated the map control in there. You can see Banelings and Roaches are going to advance further forward. Can they actually pull this through? But the Blue Flames, oh my goodness, that's a nice parasite onto the two BCs. And there you go. He actually forced that tactical jump. So now the energy levels are going to go down. But here comes two reinforcements on the side of SpeCial. Yamato Cannon has been popped out, but so he did lose one battle cruiser, and that's going to be very big. But here comes the siege tanks being harassed by these Zerglings. So there you go. Serral knows what's on the mind of SpeCial. He now has siege tanks. He now has battle cruisers. He took out those major threats. The battle cruisers have already been killed on the side of Serral. That's going to be huge. Those Infestors doing a really good job. And the Roaches, trying to get that Selnaga artifact. As you can see, Hellion trying to go for the harassment through the economy. Again, just like what those BCs did early, but much more bigger army here on the side of Serral. Now he's going to force to repair these BCs. He has to repair these BCs because so far he needs them off the fight. Now we can see a major brawl that's going to happen. There, Cyclones and Hellions. Oh, nice fungal to slow things down. And this is not looking good here on the side of SpeCial. He's going to lose his ground force. The Hellion is forced to run away. That's a nice Infestor play on the top cliff. SpeCial did not see that coming. My goodness. Serral is in another universe. Now the siege tanks are in siege mode. Can they actually defend this? It's really on point there by Serral. Take note, Serral has the numbers advantage in this game, and his upgrades, he's got 2 melee upgrades already, so he could actually dish out a lot of damage like the ground units are going to be so powerful. These Zerglings are going to be so powerful in harassment. They could actually, you know, dish out a lot of damage to the Hellions before, obviously, they're going to die to the Hellions. But, of course, that's going to be very big. Those Banelings as well could also produce a lot. As you can see, the Roaches, okay, they're going to get caught. But the Nidus networks here on the side of Serral, okay, it's going to provide a surprise factor that those Nidus networks, and they're all constantly going around, so SpeCial has to watch out. And there you go, Cyclones and Hellions already advancing further forward, but those Roaches are just making lives a bit miserable. There you can see Hellions with those blue flame upgrades. It's really slowing things down, but hold that thought. Battlecruisers advancing further forward. Now look at this though. The second set of economy is about to go down, but the Nidus Worm has been caught there by SpeCial. So the counterattacking tactics here by Serral are going to be depleted. But hold that thought, some more counterattacking tactics. Oh, nice fungal there, and the corrosive bile on one of the battlecruisers forces one to retreat. Two more battlecruisers are forced again to retreat. And Serral with the right plays again. That's a nice use of the fungal onto the corrosive bile. My goodness, Serral is just really tactical with his approach. And right now, he's got the Swarm Host and the Locust charging in further forward. There you go. They're going to constantly harass the ground units. So this could be the answer of Serral to these ground units here by SpeCial. And take note, his armor on ground units is at level 1. And that could be something that these Locusts could actually capitalize on. And then combine it with like the power spikes of these melee and range units already at level 2 in terms of like attacks. It's going to be very detrimental. As you can see, Serral, okay, he's got these Cyclones, and he's going to get these Hellions as well. Here comes the Swarm Host jumping in, but the Battle Cruisers are certainly going to tactically jump in. Serral is forced to retreat those Swarm Hosts because certainly you do not want to lose those Swarm Hosts. Those are very, very important units, especially in the field of battle against a ground force that SpeCial is deploying. Combine it with this Air Force. You want to make sure you want to contain those ground forces, so you got to keep those Swarm Hosts alive. And so far, SpeCial doing a pretty good job. However, there's a Liberator attacking through those Infestors, but the Liberator not begin to exist. As you can see, these battle cruisers are just constantly moving around the map, but Serral providing the distractionary tactics, attacking with Banelings and Ravagers and Infestors, trying to siege through its way. On the other hand, SpeCial doing the same on the southern flanks. He's actually going to move further forward. I mean, he could actually go for more targets. I mean, the lower base of Serral might not be heavily defended, but of course, SpeCial doing what he does in the early stages, trying to constantly use the Hellion presence. And so far, these Locusts, on the other hand, are just constantly harassing. So both teams indeed are going to lose a lot. Oh, look at this. Is not looking good here for Serral. He's going to lose these Swarm Hosts. The Yamato cannons have been popped out on the Swarm Hosts. That's going to be big. It's like, if you're Serral, if you let these Swarm Hosts die easily like that, it's like you're throwing away Gucci bags as if they were nothing. You spent a lot of investments on those Gucci bags, and for them, it's insignificant because of what you have done. So far, the Spore Crawler army, Serral has to build this because he's being bombarded by these BCs. And look at this, the Swarm Hosts are certainly not going to like that pressure. Now Corruptors have been unleashed. Oh, nice! Nice use there off the fungal, and now the Corruptors are going to do a lot of damage. And then you have that Parasite there on the side of those Infestors, which is really stopping SpeCial around here. Those Corruptors indeed doing a lot of damage, and the Ravagers as well, rampaging their way in front of these BCs. This is a very heavy investment here by SpeCial, and he's going to lose a lot. Those battle cruisers are not what you want to lose. And this is not looking good for SpeCial. He's lost a lot of battle cruisers in that fight. And because of that, this allows space for the side of Serral to move further forward. The siege tanks are going to be harassed by these Ravagers. And it could get worse, especially if those Corruptors could actually get the finishing touches onto that command center. And there you go. Serral already able to defend that assault there by SpeCial. And here comes the Corruptors getting bombarded easily. The rocks are going to be a good defensive stance, but the Ravagers' range are just too much. And so far, Ravagers over Hellions, certainly Ravagers are going to win that matchup because of the fact that their corrosive bile does really do a lot of damage. Even their right clicks do a lot of damage as well. Now 7 battle cruisers here on the side of SpeCial. I don't think it's going to be that sufficient. I mean, especially with those, you can see here, though, these Swarm Hosts, on the other hand, they're going to Serral's gonna lose these, but so far Serral, I don't feel like he needs these swarm hosts now, because one thing's for certain, the Ravagers and Infestor buildup is just really good. As you can see, those Zerglings just pressuring on through those Cyclones. The speed upgrades are just so annoying, tantalizing indeed, dancing their way. Now the Fungal and one of the Cyclones. Oh, Baneling's just gonna disrupt SpeCial's economy. Gonna get through this planetary fortress. There it goes, and the SCVs are just forced to watch in agony. These BCs going for those Yamato cannons. Gets a few of those Ravagers, but so far, Serral, like most Zerg players, oh, he can actually tank it up. That's what Zerg players are known for, or that's what the Zerg race is known for, these tank ups, as SpeCial tries to defend these Baneling assaults. So far, can these BCs actually hold SpeCial to victory? These BCs now have a level 2 upgrade on aerial attacks and in terms of overall armor. So far, these Spore Crawlers have to be destroyed if you're SpeCial, because your BCs are going to be exposed anytime. And he's doing a really good job at that, and he's actually forcing his BCs to move in the southern flank. So neither strategy by Serral, I mean, so far it's being haunted down by SpeCial, but so far Serral could actually get a lot of openings with those Nidus networks. It allows him to attack through the bases of his opponents. Like, sure, SpeCial was able to defend it, but he's able to like provide a disruptive place to distract SpeCial in this matchup, which is actually really good for the side of Serral. Like, it really shows you how capable of like reading his opponents. So far, the harassment is just constantly happening. See, look at this. If you look at SpeCial, he's slowly losing his workers. I mean, just look at it. Yeah, look at that. The Zerglings are just constantly harassing the SCVs. Look at his worker count, down to 56 already. Whereas Serral has like a very productive at 7-4. And the scan has been sent by SpeCial. This could be the final moment for SpeCial. He has to protect these battle cruisers, no doubt. Can the level 2 armor plating upgrades really work a lot? The siege tanks are just going to bombard everything. Here comes the Zerglings with the speed upgrade. Not much can those siege tanks can do. But look at this. SpeCial has something of a major surprise, going for the spine crawlers on that northern base. And one Spore Crawler will certainly not be able to defend that, but here comes the Corruptor armies and the Infestors here by Serral. Oh, look at this. SpeCial, can he actually run through this though? And the blue flame slowing these Zerglings down. Ravagers popped out though. The Ravagers are going to be exposed, and so far, here comes the Corrosive Bout to shut things down. There's the Yamato cannons popped out, and SpeCial, well, he's just going to go for those battle cruisers, like for some early harassment on that top section of the map, and then suddenly he's for defensive purposes. He knows he's going to be vulnerable to those Corruptors, so what he decides to do is just go for the Yamato cannons and then blink out. Tactical jump away and prepare for round number 2, which he has to do, because so far his economy is not looking pretty good because of the harassment of Zerglings on the side of Serral. So things are looking really bad for SpeCial right now. I mean, sure, his supply has already reached 200, its maximum, but if you look at the army composition, he's not going to like the army composition on the side of Serral, because he's got these Corruptors and he's got those Infestors, and then there's also the Ravagers that could potentially slaughter your battle cruiser armada. I mean, I saw 7 battle cruisers. Right now it's more battle cruisers, and so far, even though you have a gazillion battle cruisers at your disposal, it might not work, especially knowing how strategic Serral has been in terms of like his positioning. And there goes the positioning! There's a Fungal onto the Parasite! That thing is gonna be so much damage there for SpeCial to receive. And then you add the fact that these Corruptors are just massing in numbers so much that it's gonna force SpeCial to break his overall back. See, look at all those battle cruisers. All of them are dying and falling and suffering in agony. You do not want to deal with a Corruptor army like this if you're a SpeCial. He's trying to repair them with SCVs, but so far it doesn't really do a lot of damage, and it's not being able to sustain these BCs a lot, because so far the Corruptor count is just too much here by Serral. Just look at what happens to supply. 200 down to 133. So SpeCial has lost a lot in terms of army count, and to make matters worse, here comes the acid spray onto that planetary fortress, which will certainly make sure that that planetary fortress will go down. So that's going to really disrupt the overall map aggression on the side of SpeCial. He did lose a lot, and now more is coming here on the side of Serral, and he's going to go and constantly harass the bases of SpeCial. And these Cyclones and Hellions trying to defend everything with these BC. So far, SpeCial has no answer to this Infestor Corruptor combo here on the side of Serral. And take note, you might think it's just those two. You have to consider the Ravagers and the Spore Crawlers as well. The positioning has been really on point here on the side of Serral. And there you go, back and forth exchange special. He already has level 3 in terms of like air unit upgrades and plating. Now he's trying to upgrade the ground unit upgrades because so far he needs to get those instant kills onto those infestor bombs. Now the fungal is just slowing down these Hellions, the Zerglings chasing on in front of them. And SpeCial is just going to be pushed to the wall with the way that Serral has just moved and outmaneuvered him all throughout this game. It's really difficult. And these Zerglings here on the top, it's just annoying SpeCial as of this moment. And there you go. His orbital command is already burning. And he doesn't know where to land it because of the constant pressure of these Zerglings. I mean, deny this network and the constant productions of these Zerglings are actually helping Serral a lot in this matchup. Like, SpeCial, he's got to come up with something. He's got to be very strategic now. I mean, of course, this harassment onto these roaches might mean a lot. Got to watch out for these infestors. He's got to really watch out. He's already took out one, but remember, Zerg players can recover fast. You can see the final brawl is about to pop down. The fungal is going to slow down these beasties. And there you got the parasite to control these beasties. And GG has been declared as Serral has won game number 1 of this best of 5 series.